girls finals begins today. Now Addison got here by staying perfect. It wasn't easy, but the Lady Baby Falcons made it look that way, winning all 12 elimination rounds. Shaina Nitura is the team captain of the Lady Baby Falcons. Leading them in the other side of the court is none other than Ian Olango, who is also the team captain of the NUNS Bullpups, who is the only team that came close into shipping that cleanest record. Now our game today, finals game 1, Adamson versus NUNS. Now the Lady Baby Falcons made it look easy, winning all 12 elimination rounds, and the Lady Bullpups are the only team that came close to shipping that armor, and they are rejuvenated after coming off from a fresh few couple of do-or-die games. They climbed the step ladder, and here we are now. We are inside the Phil Oil Eco Oil Center here in San Juan, Manila, as we welcome the UAAP Season 86 Girls Volleyball Finals. Now, for the third straight season, it's Adamson versus NUNS. Welcome to Game 1. I'm Allison Ko, and thank you so much for tuning in live through the Filipinas Live, available for Filipinos everywhere. We also want to welcome those joining us through the UAAP Varsity channel on Signal TV, channel 263. Now, we are nearing the end of our season, so it's only fitting to go look over on how our both teams got into this point. So let's take a look at both teams' records here so far in Season 86, starting with the Adamson Lady Baby Falcons, headed by their head coach, JP Ude. Now, the Lady Baby Falcons entered Season 86 having retained just 3 players from their lineup last season. But Adamson ended up dominating the elimination round, winning 10 of 12 matches in straight sets and earning an outright finals berth. The Lady Baby Falcons are entering the finals for a third season, and they are still looking for their first ever UAAP title. And leading in this quest, the team is none other than, of course, their team captain, Shaina Nitura, who made the leap this season from being among the best players last season to far and away the best player in the division. She has been a deadly attacker and has found another gear when her team needs her the most. Now, she transferred to Adamson from the vaunted California Precision Sports School and switched positions after consulting with JP Ude, and this transition has been key for Adamson and her rise this Season 86. Now, after a week long of waiting for today's game, for Finals Games 1, I'm sure Shaina and the rest of the Lady Baby Falcons are all the more ready now for today's game. So why don't we find out more, as we did ask her earlier with a few questions. Let's watch this.
Shaina, ano yung naging focus ng team sa mahigit na isang linggong paghihintay sa finals?
Sa tingin ko po, yung pinaka-focus po namin ng mahigit isang linggo po is service receive po talaga, tsaka service namin. Paano po namin ita-target yung mga dapat namin targetin, paano po namin ipapasa yung mga hardball, lalo na is nung last game po, nandito po kami nung USC versus NU po, which is tinignan po talaga namin both teams kasi depende pa rin po talaga sino man nanalo doon, which is NU naman po talaga yung nanalo. So, great thing din po na pinagandaan namin pareho.
Ano naman ang pinakamalaking difference ng team ngayon compared sa team last season?
Sa tingin ko po yung pinaka-difference from last season is lahat po iisa lang po ang goal. Lahat po may puso maglaro at sumusunod po.
Now, with these words from Shaina, the team captain, I'm sure the Lady Baby Falcons are all the more geared up now to face today's opponent. So why don't we head on over to the other side of the court and talk about the defending champions and how they got into this point so far. Let's talk about their record here in Season 86. Coach Norman Miguel is one of the new coaches for NUNS this roster this season, and all those factors went into them going to the step ladder as the third seed, now needing to win 2 do-or-die games to make it back to the finals. NUNS showed the heart and grit that was lacking in their previous matches. They swept the FEU Diliman in their first ladder match and took care of USC in 4 sets last Tuesday to book their ticket here today. Now, this is their 10th finals appearance. They defeated Adamson in the last 2 final series, and they are looking on doing the same. Now, leading the Lady Bullpups quite literally and figuratively is also their team captain, Ian Olango, and well, the reigning MVP has had a solid follow-up season, and Olango's biggest adjustment this season has been living up to her role as the team captain. Also playing in her last few games here in the High School Volleyball League, Olango was recruited by former NUNS head coach Regine Diego out of Cebu back in 2018. Now, she's one of the best players in the division And Olango is one of the 9 graduating lady Bullpups. Now, as I mentioned, she is playing one of her few games here in the UAAP High School volleyball court. So it's only fitting, as we did ask her also a few questions to find out more. Let's watch this.
Ian, gaano kalaking tulong sa kumpiyansa nyo yung mga dinaanan nyong do or die game?
Syempre po, nahirapan kami sa pagpunta dito sa finals and inisip na po namin na kaya namin to kasi defending champions naman po kami and wala naman pong imposible sa lahat ng gagawin namin.
Ano yung mga natutunan yung lesson sa mga naging unang laban ninyo against Adamson?
Yung character po and yung puso sa game.
And now that both of our team captains have already spoken, so much is definitely to look out for in our game today. Again, this is the 3rd straight final series in what has become the top rivalry here in the girls division. It's Adamson versus NUNS. You don't want to miss this. So when we return, we'll begin our final game 1 after this break.
Presenting our game officials for this match. First referee, Mr. Erwin Lu Cordero. Second referee, Mr. Spinks Capusa. Now let us meet the starters of Adamson University Lady Baby Falcons. First off, team captain at number 3, Shai Nitura. At number 1, Third Zudong. At number 2, Sam Casada. At number 8, Abby Segi. At number 12, MJ Del Moron. At number 14, Faye Sagaysay. Starting libero, Megan Pineda. Head coach, JP Yude. And now let us meet the starters of Nazareth School of National University Lady Bullpups. Start off team captain at number 6, Kian Olango. At number 1, Den Dailisan. At number 11, Robbie Celia. At number 13, Karil Miranda. At number 14, Bien Bolsel. At number 19, Sal Marsh. Starting libero, Icy Cepeda. Head coach, Norman Miguel. It's the Falcons versus the Bullpups. This is game 1
Now
of the
it's time to meet the Lady Baby Falcons who will be bannering the blue and white. We have Del Moral, Cantada, Sagaysay, Teki, Nitura, Sudao, and Pineda as their starting libero. Meanwhile, on the other side of the court, Olango, Celia, Marsh, Dailisan, Bansil, and Miranda, and Cepada as their starting libero will be the ones bannering the Lady Bullpups. Again, we welcome you to set number 1 here in our game, finals game 1. So much has happened so far in our season 86, and we have finally come into this point. Adamson and NUNS for a 3rd straight season. They have become the top rivalry here in season 86 so far, and doing the honors of serving first from the Adamson is Faye Sagaysay, one of the graduating players for Adamson this season 86. Definitely looking forward to making the most. In the meantime, that attack error too low for Shaina Nitura. And speaking of graduating players, Nitura and Sagaysay are among the few for Adamson here, so they really want to make the most of our finals game so far. And on the other end, it's now the NUNS chance to serve here. They will go to Karil Miranda, dug up by Pineda. This time, Cantada was blocked, but a net touch was called here on the NUNS side. Let's take a look at this replay on what happened there on our previous. Oh, it was on her effort to go up for that block, and that net touch was called on Robbie Celia. In the meantime, serving here for Adamson is Ted Cantada, one of the rookies for Adamson. She is the key late addition here, right before the season started. But that service will go a little long there, and NUNS now in an early lead here, 2-1. In the meantime, Coach JP Ude here, shown in your screen, the head coach of Adamson. And Celine Marsh is now getting ready here in our service line. Ball is in. Nitura with that first ball. Sagaysay sets it back to Nitura, and that was down the line. Saina Nitura finally making up from that mistake a while ago. Let's take a look at this recent play. What an attack there from the team captain. Really proving to us why she is one of the best players here for Adamson so far in season 86. On the other end, serving now is NG Del Moral, also another senior. And we have 3 graduating players for Adamson here so far. Sagaysay sets it quick, and that was Abby Segi from Adamson tying the ball game here early on. Oh, scratch that. Scoring an advantage here for Adamson. That amazing elevation and finding that hole on the backcourt. Abby Segi, ladies and gentlemen, an opposite hitter. And in the meantime, this will be MG Del Moral returns to the service line here. Dailisan will give it a go, but dug up by NU. Sagaysay gives it back to Nitura, and Saina Nitura continues to score here. 4-2 is our score. Look at the team captain go, really adjusting smartly her attack. And what a play there for Adamson. And in the meantime, some moms of the players are present here inside the Filoil Eco Oil. Different shades of blue have been filling up our arena here, as we are, after all, in our finals game 1. In the meantime, Dailisan was blocked there. Cepada will set it up to Olango, but dug up by Sagaysay. Nitura will try again, and this time goes a little too aggressive there. And NUNS cutting off that break there by NU. And our score now is 4-3. Adamson up because of some few attacks there. We have heard from Nitura. And in the meantime, that was Celia, who sent that ball in. And that attack by Saina Nitura goes down the line, but a little outside. And a point here for NU, finally tying the ball game. 4-all is our score here. And in the other end, this will give Robbie Celia a chance to return to the service line here. Again, this is our game number 1. 3rd season of an epic rivalry here for Adamson. And a chance here for NU. Miranda sets it quick to Bansil. And Bansil scores her first point here in today's game. Let's take a look at this recent play by the Lady Bulldogs. An excellent execution there. And finally, NUNS took over back its lead. They are leading by 1 point as Robbie Celia returns to serve here. Dug up by Cantada, and that was a quick answer back right away there. Said Cantada, really proving the walls here. She was the one who gets that first ball and enabled that smooth 1-2 play there, executed well by the Lady Baby Falcons. And 5-5 is our score. So far, an intense push and pull from both our teams. Miranda with a back set to Olango. And Kian Olango makes a score here in today's game. After all, she is one of the players who is looking out for in our game. She is last season's MVP, and she is continuing on making the most here in her last few games here in UAAP High School. As Olanga, fresh from that point, will send this ball in. Up by Cantada. Sagaysay with a quick there to Tudao, but dug up by NU. Olanga from behind will give it a go, and that will work for NUNS after that soft tip by the team captain, Ian Olango. And of course, we have to take a look at this replay there. Smart adjustment there, mid-air. She saw the blocker in front of her, and she adjusted quite well with a great anticipation there from the team captain. After this ball here, Shaina Litura will answer back for Adamson, stopping the run there by NU. Let's take a look at this replay there. Look at Shaina go, what an elevation. And the blockers in front of her just wasn't ready for that. And fresh from that point, she will be giving it a go at the service line. Now Shaina Natura with that excellent serve by Lisan from the outside, but dug up by Nitura. This time Cantada will give it a go. Ball is still alive by Lisan with that soft tip, and finally finishes that rally. Lisan so far really picking up the pace for NU here. Denise Lisan with that smart play, and so far these off-the-speed attacks have been working for NUNS, as they are now up by 2 here. 8-6 is our score, and it was Lisan who sent that ball in. Cantada with a running attack. What an attack, what a kill there by Zed Cantana. And let me remind you, the Adamson crowd is loving it. Let's take a look at this recent play by the rookie here. Zed Cantana is one of the late key additions for Adamson, and the future is definitely bright here with players like her. In the meantime, Marsh was blocked there by Sagaysay and Del Moral, as Adamson finally erases NU's lead here. Let's take a look at that. Great anticipation there by Del Moral and Sagaysay, leading into that execution of a solid block. In the meantime, that service error will switch back to momentum here for NU. Coach JP Ude wanting his team to like. This is so much high stakes for both our teams now. After all, we are at finals game 1, and NUNS and Adamson's previous matches here in season 85 has all ended into 5 sets. So this is very much a thrilling matchup ahead of us, as Marsh tries to give it a go. Another block there. Marsh will give it another try. Nitura was dug up. Nitura from behind and finally killed. Of course, the team captain delivers for Adamson here, and that would bring Adamson to a 9-all. Another deadlock here in our game after the smart, sharp attack there. In the meantime, Sagaysay will give it a go at the service line. Marsh gives it another go, but dug up by Nitura. A running attack there. Soft tip by Segi, but dug up by NU. Ball is still alive. Miranda sets it back to Mars. And Celine Mars finally breaks down the wall in front of her after that recent attack there. Let's take a look at this. Celine Mars readjusting her attack there after those 2 blockers in front of her. And NUNS is back in its 1-point lead. Karil Miranda, who is, by the way, their new setter here in season 86, will unfortunately commit that service error. In the meantime, Norman Miguel shown in your screens, as on the Adamson side, Zed Cantada scored quite a few so far in today's game. We'll give it a go at the service line. First ball, Olango. 1-2 play there by Miranda. Unfortunately, did not go over the net. And Adamson is now 1 point ahead. 11-10 is our score. So far, so much intensity and excitement for game number 1. This is, after all, our epic finals rivalry between Adamson and NUNS. It has been 3 seasons now so far. And our fans, I'm sure, thank you so much for tuning in to our Filipinas Live, and also those watching through the UAAP Sports channel. That attack by Olango will bring us to another deadlock, and this is the replay of that attack right down the line there, courtesy of the team captain. And Celine Marsh, who is also one of the title holders from last season, to give it a go. Olango with that attempt to give a regalo, unfortunately did not go over the net there. Another error for NUNS here. Really slowing them down a bit here. 12-11 is our score. And Saina Nitura and the rest of the Lady Baby Falcons really keeping this game close. They are up by 1 as MG Del Moral will give it a go at the service line. A little too strong there. And another deadlock now. 12-all is our score. Coach JP Udish, one in your screen, really reminding his girls to limit their errors. After all, we are already at our finals, game 1. And there is little room for errors now as Saina Nitura is blocked by Bansil. That soft adjustment will work for the second time around. Saina Nitura continues to deliver for her team here. She's not getting tired. She's only getting started here after that another smart play in her books here. In the meantime, Abby Segui with that sharp serve. Dailisan will send it over, and what a lucky point there for NUNS. Denise Dailisan is the girl to thank for here. Star moves the blockers in front of her and slips into her attack, and that landed right there out on the spot on the backcourt of Adamson. In the meantime, Kian Olango will return to the service line here. 13-all is our score. Dug up by Nitura. Nitura with a quick swipe, and that still works for Saina Nitura. 14-13 is our score. After Saina Nitura maximizes this broken play and still managed to score for Adamson here. And she will give it another go at the service line here. Better first ball there by NU. Quick swipe, but dug up by Adamson. Broken play here for Adamson. Cantada will give it a go, but Dailisan was there. Marsh from behind. Another long rally so far, and Cantada finally put a stop there for Adamson. And look at that great connection between Tagaysay and Seth Cantada. That down the line attack as Adamson will now be at a 2-point lead, and this will be Coach Norman's cue to call on a timeout. And our score now 15-13. Adamson is up by 2. And we are seeing different shades of blue here in the Phil Oil, Eco Oil tender here in San Juan for our finals game 1. And so far, both our teams are putting up quite a show here. What an intense push and pull so far, set number 1. And an error will be called there on Seth Cantada. And 3 points for NU this time around, closing down that lead by Adamson. Great timeout called so far by Coach Norman there as NU managed to steal back that momentum, and Denise Dailisan will send that ball in. Tagaysay sets it quick to Tudao, and Maurice Tudao will score for Adamson, bringing back their 2-point lead. Tagaysay really knew how to maximize their middle blockers there. Maurice Tudao, one of the best middle blockers so far in the league, and Celine Marsh will send it quick, but dug up by Adamson. So far, great coverage there by Adamson. Nitura with that first ball. Tagaysay with a 1-2 play, but Cupada was there. Dailisan from behind, and that would be a little overcooked there as it sailed outside, and Adamson looks like that is now up by 3 points here. Coach Norman telling his girls to calm down here after that set of few errors so far, as Maurice Tudao Unfortunate service error there. JP Ude telling his girls, okay lang yan. 17-15 is our score. And we are still in our set number 1, but both our teams have already been putting up so much heart and passion here. As Bien Bansil will give it a go with the serve. Sagaysay sets it quick to Cantada again, but dug up by Marsh. Miranda to Marsh again, but another denial there by Adamson. Solid block so far, shown to us by the white shirts. Marsh with that soft adjustment there, but still great coverage so far by Adamson. Unfortunately, that wouldn't go over the net. And 17-16 is now our score, and UNS trying to keep this game close. In the meantime, Bien Bansil will return to serve here for NU. Great serve there. Nitura with a first ball. Sagaysay with a 1-2 play. And that would work for Adamson. What a smart play by the senior here. Face Sagaysay. Even though Adamson has only 3 players, they can still depend on these seniors, graduating seniors, to step up, especially in high-stakes games as this one. 18-16 is our score, and Sagaysay sends that ball in. Marsh will try with that attack, but dug up by Adamson. Cantada from the outside. Miranda quick to Celia, but dug up by Adamson. Cantada tries again, and this time sails outside, unfortunately. And NUNS still holding on to that 1-point deficit. And so far, we have been seeing so bright stars here for the future of Philippine volleyball. Both our teams have shown so much heart and passion all throughout season 86. And up until in our finals game 1, we have been seeing here in this very tight set number 1. And Sagaysay with a running set to Cantada, but dug up by Marsh. Miranda this time to Olango with that off-speed attack. And Sagaysay, unfortunately there, trying to send that ball in, but went straight to the net. And with that, NUNS will tie the game here. 18-all is our score. As Karil Miranda is the team's new setter and has been playing quality minutes for NU and its veteran-laden team. Meanwhile, Sagaysay set to Cantada, but dug up by NU. It's another chance here. Del Moral with that off-speed drop there. And Adamson will regain back its momentum here. NG Del Moral finally finds a way to score here after slightly adjusting that tip, and NU just wasn't ready with that play there. 19-18, again, both teams really holding on tight here in our set number 1. And Miranda sets it quick to Marsh, but dug up by Adamson. This time, Dizon will give it a go. Dailisan from behind, but again, great coverage by Adamson, and an unfortunate attack error there by Saina. And we are back to another deadlock here, set number 1. 19-all is our score. And again, they meet. This is the 3rd straight final series between Adamson and NUNS, and they are giving us quite a show here with an intense fight so far in set number 1. What a way to open our finals game 1. And that off-the-block attack there, courtesy by Sakina Nitura, will give back Adamson its lead here, 2019, as MG Del Moral will return to the service line. Again, the Lady Baby Falcons entered season 86, having retained just 3 players from their lineup last season. But that didn't stop them. They have, after all, a clean, spotless record here so far in season 86. But their opponent today is the only team that came close into chipping off that armor. And Ian Olango, after this attack, just proves to us just why, after that solid block, the team captain is really dependable when it's not just in terms of offense but also in defense, as we are at another deadlock. 20-all is our score. Our expectations are definitely being met here. We are experiencing a thrilling matchup so far from both our teams. And that attack by Segi will give Adamson a 1-point lead now after apologizing there. Love to see great camaraderie between our players. 21-20, Abby Segi, the opposite hitter for Adamson in season 86. With that jump serve there, Miranda will be called on a net touch. Unfortunate error there for NU, and that would bring Adamson here a 2-point lead now. Let's take a look at this great call by our referee. I believe that was net touch called on Miranda, and another cue for Coach Norman Miguel to call on another timeout here. Present here in the Phil Oil Eco Oil Center, really showing support from our finals game 1. We also want to thank those joining us through the Filipinos Live app available for Filipinos everywhere, and those joining us also at the UAAP Varsity channel. In the meantime, that service error will switch back the momentum here to NU, as Pia Nolango, their team captain, will return to the service line here. Again, so far, Kian Nolango has been the reigning MVP last season. An unfortunate service error there will bring Adamson 2 points away from closing. But so far, the defense is tight first set here. And Shaina Nidura will return to the service line, along with her beach volleyball partner, Faith Agaysay and MG Del Moral. She is pulling a few of her last playing years here. That closing down the lead now to just 1, and this will be Coach JP Yuda's cue to call on his timeout. And 23-22 is our score. Both teams really holding on tight in our set number 1. As Denise Dailisan will give it another go at the service line. Sagaysay with a 1-2 play. And just like that, Adamson is now at set point. Of course, he just need, so take a look at this. Great execution there by the playmaker of Adamson. And in the meantime, Luis Sudao will give it a go at the service line. Dailisan with a first ball. Marsh with that running attack. And Celine Marsh stops that run by Adamson. Not letting the first set go that easy in favor of the Lady Baby Pagans here. What a great execution there. Sai, from last season, second best outside hitter after all. And in the meantime, Carlene Season, who is coming in as a service specialist, will give it a go here for the blue shirts. It is Sampaloc versus San Marcelino today. And so far, Shaina Nidura will bring set number 1 back home to San Marcelino. And after that, delivering that final blow is, of course, their team captain, Shaina Nidura, making things happen for set number 1. Let's take a look at that very intense set so far. And at the start of the season. Both teams showed off a great start here with an intense push and pull, but from the middle, it was the Adamson Lady Baby Falcons who managed to pull away more, establishing more consistent plays and defense as well. And players to give credit for is none other than Seth Cantata and Saina Nitura, and of course their playmaker, Faith Tagaysay, really maximizing her wingers and middle blockers. Let's take a look at our score here in set number 1, 25-23 in favor of the Lady Baby Falcons. We'll be back with set number 2 after the break.